Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Rosalie.
And I'm Shorty.
And this is Skate Sunday. Thank you for joining us.
What's up, guys?
We got a special guest today. Shorty, who do we have?
We have the Bootmaker. The humble Bootmaker.
The humble. I'm but a humble bootmaker. We have Jason from the Harlick Skate Boot Company. They make luxury or custom, I would say.
They are luxury.
They're luxury because they're so custom.
They are one of a kind.
They're specialty made. They're custom skate boots for ice skates and roller skating. What are your impressions of like Harlicks? When you hear Harlick, what do you think?
I think I feel broke. I think I am not that good of a skater yet. I don't know. I feel like I don't feel intimidated by skates, but I feel intimidated by Harlicks a little bit. They're like a fucking Ferrari, and I can't drive.
Like you're gonna get a Ferrari for your feet, but like you stay crashing into shit.
Yeah, like I be rocking curbs.
I mean, I just know they're expensive. Like I click the link, I'm like, what are these boots about? For what? Like, what is this all about? And you see how expensive they are, and it's like, what? Why? What am I getting? You know, like, are these boots gonna make me a better skater? Like,
yeah, I'm curious to find out what goes into the actual building of it, because I personally don't know what it is to hand build a boot.
No, I don't.
And you know, I have a lot of questions about it. So
we have Jason from the Harlick Boot Company.
Welcome. The Harlick Boot Company. Welcome. Thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure. Yeah.
So Harlick Boots has been in business for 100 years.
Almost.
Yeah. Tell us the story of Harlick and the history of it.
Love it. Let's see. The story of Harlick. It starts off, going back to the early 1900s. It started off with Mr. Lewis Harlick, and he made equestrian boots and ballet slippers. He was just like an old traditional cobbler, right? And then he had an office in downtown San Francisco, upstairs from the Ice Capades and the Ice Follies office. And that was like an old touring ice skating show. And it was in downtown San Francisco, right on Market Street. And so they would send their skaters upstairs to see Mr. Harlick to get boots made. And over time, they built up this reputation as like the best boot makers and made ice skates and roller skates since 1933, right? And then my great-grandfather, the way that my family got into it was he had a brother that had a shop about 25 miles south of San Francisco, just about 5 miles south of where we're at now, here in San Carlos. And he would go up to the city and help Mr. Harlick do shoemaking and stuff like that. And then Mr. Harlick was ready to retire. He asked my great uncle, could you ask your brother, being my great grandpa, like, could you guys buy me out? And so great granddad sold everything. He had a shoe shop in Southern California, and he moved up here, and like they worked hard and made it into this great brand, what it is, right? And then my great granddad, he had one daughter, and so my grandfather married into the company. My mom is the oldest granddaughter, and my dad kind of married into the company. And here I am, like, I guess the first generation to kind of be born into it, right? And I've been doing this since 1997.
Wow.
So
Wow.
That's when I got my start. Yeah. And here we are today.
That's incredible. And I love hearing the whole factory action.
Oh yeah. We're getting you guys, everyone, all of our listeners and our viewers are getting a real experience of what it's like to be in what do you call it? The warehouse, the factory? What do you call it?
Factory shop. Yeah. The factory is what we've always called it.
Where the magic happens.
Yeah.
Where the dreams come true. So, no, what a beautiful story.
Try and describe to us what the process of being a skilled bootmaker is.
Nice. Well, So the first step is that tracing and measurement process. So for example, I had a husband and wife come in this morning. They haven't skated since they were kids, but they came like here and got custom boots, and I needed to really fill them out and see what their specific needs are, and like what colors they would want, and all these different things, right? So when I say specific needs, I need to figure out if maybe they have a bunion or like a flat foot. The husband had total reconstructive surgery recently on his whole ankle and heel area, and it was like, he needed some special stuff. So I need to figure out those things and then help them design their favorite colors and figure out what would work best for them, and make sure that I'm not being overbearing, but like kind of bringing it out of them, right? And working within our system. Cut out all those special colors of leather and the different layers, the internal reinforcement layers. And then there's the gluing and assembly portion of it. And then we start sewing it and creating what we call the upper. And that's, the leather part that goes around the ankle and the foot, and then the tongue area, that's all the upper. And then it needs to be shaped. And that's called the lasting process. And that's where we take the leather and stretch it around the last, or that plastic mold that we build the boot around. And oftentimes we'll replicate the shape of the foot or create buildups that will make pockets in the boots for bunions or things like that, or flat feet. Everybody's feet are different, right? And so some of the brands kind of make their boots to let anybody's foot fit in there. And ours is more of like, let's make it fit just like a glove. And it's an extension of your foot or your body. You feel support everywhere you want it. And your edges and leans, everything's just better, right? So then we, after we last it, we put the soles on. We
But
shape
how?
them.
Like how? How? Wait, go back. How do you get the foot mold? Like
So
what?
I take the mold that we build the boot around and I modify it by gluing pieces of leather in specific areas, or I'll have the skaters tracing or photos. Here's one right here. My brother just bought by, but you can see it's wider in the front and more room in the toe, and kind of like rounder in the toe box and more room through the arch area for this specific skater. So it's about a B width back here, but maybe a D width in the front and more room in the front. So at the top. So everybody's foot is different, right? And so we customize them by gluing those pieces of leather and then shape the boot around that. So from the very beginning, it's made to your foot, right? And then we do foot impressions. We can make custom march supports. So the like footbed is made exactly to your foot. And then we put the soles on. And so we cut all that leather out. We shape it. We stitch it to the upper and kind of sandwich all the upper leather that's wrapping between the inner sole and the midsole. We're kind of stitching all that, sandwiching it together, and then we'll glue in the outer sole. And because each one is different, we don't have these pre-made soles and heels. Every single one is hand trimmed and shaped specifically to that boot, which is shaped to that skater's foot, right? So then we'll put the heel heights on to whatever their desired heel height is and shape that. All that's done with sanding wheels and balancing throughout the process to make sure the plate will sit on their flush or the blade will sit on their flush and the balance is proper and not leaning to more of an inside or outside edge, because it's all done by hand, right? And kind of step by step. And then we'll clean them up, put some of the chem glaze, like the glitter. I can see Rozy would probably
love
have
the glitter.
sole on glitter sole, right? And then clean them up and polish them and put the laces in and send them on their way, right?
They're beautiful. They're works of art.
I didn't know you could customize that much of a skate to a specific skater. Like
everything. Yeah. Whatever you want.
but like, why? Like, why would a company want to do that?
Or what I see it more of why would a skater want to do it, right? I'm just here to fulfill whatever their needs are. Because that's a good question. Why should I want to do that? I should just like 1,000 of one color and
one size fits all.
Yeah. So
but
you actually
fulfilling the skater's desires, right? That's what we do here. And everybody's preference is different, and everybody's color scheme is different, or personality is different, or skill level is different. And Again, everybody's foot is different. That's the big thing, right? Everybody's foot is different. But yeah, you'd be surprised. Some people come up with some wild stuff like colors, textures, different materials. They just go all out, right? Like they don't hold back. They do their own artistic designs that I cut into the sides. You may have seen some of those.
I love the Zelina just got a pair. They're gorgeous. It's a little butterfly detail on the side.
Yeah, that boot was because, sorry, Rozy, boot was kind of, we're really looking for this rich, like kind of royal blue, or not royal blue, but almost like this purpley blue. And we couldn't find it. And then I was in the leather room and I noticed the backside of some like purple calf. The backside was the perfect color, what we were looking for. And it had a nice snap to it. Like it was just right. So we actually used the backside of a leather.
No way.
Yeah. So you can kind of, when you're making them, you can break the rules. You can do whatever you want, right? You just got to know what will work and what won't.
Yeah. That's awesome. Like it's like y'all are over there like literally custom making boot. Is that custom like making your dream like skates? Like that's just, like how you said like a skater's desire. Like you're making it not only custom to like what their comfort is on riding on the boots, but like their style in it, their personality, their flavor, like the whole concept of it is incredible to me. Like
that's what and every pair is unique. That's what takes so long too. It's like we're not just churning out 1,000 pairs of the same color, just a handful of sizes. Like it's every single pair is different. Every single one has specific notations and requirements when making it to fit whatever their needs are, right? So some people, let's say for an ice skate, for example, they already have a blade and we're putting the sole and heel on. We have to trim it to that exact size that it needs to be to fit that blade, or all kinds of different things like that, right? All the little specifications.
So I had a question. What's your personal like favorite part of the process of the boot making process?
Yeah, I mean, because I do include the pickup and the fitting. I include that. I think that's probably my favorite part because I get to like vibe with the clients and just see what they're about. I joke around and I'll call myself the boot shaman. They sit up on this chair and I'm literally just like trying to get this information out of that. Sometimes you got to feel what their needs are, right? And so that's probably my favorite part. The work part is like, what would be my favorite aspect of doing the work? I don't know.
No, I mean that answered it right there.
Yeah.
That's your favorite part. That your favorite part is meeting your guest and figuring out what you're going to customize for them. That's awesome.
And then to bring it full circle and do the pickup with them, and like it works, right?
So for those that don't know what Harlick even is, what's the process like? If I just wanted to get a Harlick today, what is the process like?
So being that you're in Florida, I mean, I always suggest or invite people to come in person, whether it's for the fitting or the pickup. But if you're in Florida, I would say let's schedule a virtual fitting and to have you wear your socks or tights that you normally wear, have a pencil and paper and a flexible measuring tape available, and your current boots. So we can get a feel for what you're using. And then I guide the skater through what I would do here in person. I guide them through it. And then I'm watching and I'm verifying each tracing or each measurement to make sure it's the way I would do it, right? And to me, I find that's more reliable as a measurement and sizing than if somebody just sends something in blindly to me in the mail, right? Or just orders a size 9 because they always order a size 9, where I might measure them and it might be only an 8, but I can make it wide enough for them, which makes it fit just right. Some people, like in my tennis shoes, I go up a size to get width out of it, right? And so people are accustomed to doing that. But a skate, if it's made just for you, you can go to the proper length and get the proper width as well. So,
gotcha.
Yeah.
So
that's
and
crazy
then we go
how much of a example you are of service. Like that's really amazing how hands-on you are with the clients, even though they're so far away. And, you know, it's a big investment for people to buy a Harlick boot, you know? So it's nice to know that that much care goes into each customer experience. I like that.
We've discovered that the more we do up front, the better idea we get for what their specific needs are and like what their sizing is. The better we can do up front, it's going to save headaches in the long run. Like when they pick them up, you know, if something's a little tight or it's like the more perfect we can get it, the better it is for everybody.
Right.
We do the virtual fittings and stuff and worldwide, right? And so if it's tight, that's a long trip. Even to Florida, it's like a 6,000-mile round trip, right?
Yeah.
So we try to get it as perfect as possible from the beginning.
So step 1, want a Harlick boot. Easy. Step 2, you got to go for the fitting.
Yeah.
We got to fit. You got to get fitted, or not go for the fitting. You got to get
Virtual
measured
fitting too.
Virtual fitting. However that happens, right? You get with the client and you come up with a plan with them, and then you execute it. So then you take the plan that you have with the client and then you make the boot. And then if they're picking up in person, what happens?
So then I have them try them on. I do little spot stretches if they need, if they got a little spot that's a little sore, just to ease the break in. And then if I have had it mounted previously, then I have them maybe roll around a little bit, get some videos for make a reel or something. But really, it's awesome because I can do those little fine tuning adjustments right here in the factory, and I can run back and forth from the fitting room 5 times if I need to, and it's so much easier than trying to ship.
Yeah.
So that's why
Wow.
Come to California. We're 20 miles south of San Francisco from the beach. San Jose, 20 miles south. Oakland's 20 miles east. Like, it's an amazing place to come and visit, right? So I think being here helps encourage people to come for the pickup.
Add it to the list.
Added to the list of where we got to go this year.
So I wanted to ask, because I am not familiar with ice skating, but how does building ice skates and roller skates differ?
That's a great question. So it's like they're totally opposite, almost, to tell you the truth. The roller skates, the quads have the wide wheelbase, which requires some ankle flexibility and movement laterally side to side. So like when you're stroking or pushing off, whereas a narrow center of gravity with the blade, it's when you lean on an edge, it's not like leaning on like your edges on quads. When you lean on an edge on a blade, it's like so narrow, right? So you need that boot to be stiff to support the ankles and hold the skater upright as they're leaning on those edges. And so it's a lot stiffer in comparison to a roller skate. And I think they prefer their fit a little more snug as well.
Is the boot itself, like, because you said it's stiffer, so the boot itself is harder? That would be like harder uppers? Is that the
harder, stiffer ankle support is what or just more layers to it. And but still similar like construction method, just adding more layers and just making it harder, kind of, to tell you the truth.
Gotcha. So wait, so has Harlick always made roller skates? Like, when did this start? Like, I know you said boots, but
when
were roller skates introduced?
Roller skates since the beginning. Our old banner, that's like this hand painted banner from the 60s or something. It's pretty cool. It has roller skaters on there, right? And
wow.
Harlick and it says, and like I have old stationery, and it says ice skates and roller skates, or roller skates and ice skates. So it's cool to know that we didn't just jump on this bandwagon, right? We've been doing it before pretty much everybody listening to this was born.
Since before you was born.
We were the wagon.
we built the wagon. We made the wheels for the wagon.
But that's cool. It's like we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We just keep doing what we've been doing it the way we've always done it, and that's what makes us unique. Is like that old traditional method that that quality, the attention to detail, the innovative design concepts, and the fit features, all those things. That's like what we've always done. That's like what old made in America craftsmanship has always been about, but it all left, right? And I'm just the last one still doing it here, it seems like, or anywhere, the way that we do it in the traditional methods and letting skaters choose whatever they want as far as design and colors go. So I know some of the other brands, you could choose a color, or maybe you can get like a custom fit, but you can't choose the color. But like, I don't think there's anybody doing it the way we do it, like from start to beginning, the traditional way, right?
I see this. I see it. I see what you're talking about, because I guess from the perspective of like people that have just started roller skating and they're looking up roller skate companies, of course, you know, you're going to pop up as well. So I guess what we all want to know is for what, like, why, you know, like why, when someone just types into Google, right, and they see the Harlick boot price, right? Like, I guess people want to know, like, why is it so expensive? You know?
That's a great. I mean, I
explain to our moms.
Yeah,
why we should
tell
be
me
spending.
how to convince my mother to buy me a Harlick.
Well, for one, it's like a special thing made just for you. If you think about and your lives and people's lives, how many things do they have made just for them outside of like a meal or, you know, something like that? What do they have made custom and designed for them? You think it's like maybe like a wedding dress or like a quinceañera dress or something super nice and meaningful in a traditional way that you know, you're going to spend a little bit more because it is special, right? And same with these boots, is when you look at it and you realize, okay, these things take 15 to 20 hours to make one pair, right? They're so unique. There's value to this. And not only that, you're not just getting that, like I was saying before, you're not just getting a stock boot out of the box and like, go break that bad boy in, you know, good luck, right? You're getting the customer service side. You're getting everything, and these are built to last. And so instead of going through 3, 4, 5 pairs of these cute boots that, you know, you can run through for $400, $500, $600 a pop, that they start to add up as well. And then they break down, they wear out quickly, and then where do they go? Maybe give them your little cut, but honestly, and then where does the garbage go? It goes into the landfills, right? And so you've got all these plastic, this unsustainable industry that carries up, you know, fashion and all this, and then it's carrying over into this sports equipment that's supposed to be long lasting and built to like you and never like throw it away, right? And so that's where there's value there. It's not just something that's disposable. It's like, if this is made for you, you're going to give these to your grandkids. You're going to like make sure that your favorite skater gets them when you outgrow them or something, like you're or wear them out. Like they're not going in the landfill. I can't see anybody really throwing these things away, right? They're meaningful.
It's a sin. How dare you throw the Harlicks away?
Yeah, I would cherish them.
Do you got
and so like the value, there's something there.
You got an old skate laying around that's had some years on it?
I got a few here and there. What size are you?
No. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay. I was just saying to show our viewers, but I mean, we can talk about that later.
Let's see. Grab something.
Just to show our viewers, just to show people that are watching the podcast what like an old boot is.
But you can see this is something that was made like
gorgeous.
This is Columbia, and she wanted these stars, right?
Who is this for? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
She's in Canada, and so her name is Celeste. Shout out to Celeste. And but you can see she chose this two-tone backstay, and it's wider than all, and it kind of comes out. It's all different, right? It's what she wanted. And then this scarlet feather suede, and then she didn't want like the Harlick on there. She just wants to be low key, kind of like, you know. But nice satin wax sole finish. So this is everything that she wanted. But then the fit is made like just for her, right? Like you can tell it's a little bit wider right through here and has these little pockets where it's just wider across the ball, but then snug through the heel. And you can also see kind of like where that stitching is. Can you see it there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just drooling.
I know.
I have a question though, because I am a reckless human being. And what are like big no-nos when it comes to skate maintenance? If you're buying Harlick boots, like what is something you just do not do to your skates?
Don't just go out skating them, sweating them, and then throw them in your skate bag and zip it up and throw it in your trunk. Make sure if your feet have sweat and the linings are kind of wet, take like a wet or a damp rag and wipe the sweat out, and then a dry rag and wipe all that moisture out. And then make sure that it's left in an open air environment and it's able to breathe and dry out properly. Because some skaters' boots will dry out or rot out from the inside out, right? From the sweat, and then internally it starts to kind of like dry out the leather and things like that. So try not to let them like just get trapped in these sweaty, humid environments. What else? I don't know.
Oh, because these have a wood base.
Well, actually, yeah, this is leather. So that part's all leather on the sole and heel.
That's all leather.
Stacked leather.
Natural material.
Yeah, hard leather. And so if you look at the other brands, you'll see on their heels, they have like these little lines. They're just like fake, but they're trying to replicate the stacked leather look.
Oh my God.
I thought it was like a station wagon, like faking wood paneling type look.
My brain
had no idea.
My brain can't compute. That is, I had no idea.
Today.
Yeah, stacked leather. So
go ahead.
Yeah. What would another thing be? Honestly, they're built to last. So I want you to go out there and just like tear them up, right? Like get out there, do what you're supposed to do. And they're built to hold up. I don't know. Some people paint them. Some people do stuff. You can do whatever you want, really. I don't know. It's hard to do stuff.
After you buy them, instead of
once they leave the factory, it's your business.
Take care of your equipment, and it's gonna take care of you, right? So
I restored her skates for her skates she had, and I was like with the needle, like getting in there and like pretending I was Harlick, like. So I was like, I can make this boot safe again. But yeah, I love watching your Instagram videos that you post. It's really therapeutic to watch you make them. It's like I don't know if that's weird, but like
it's kind of like a version of ASMR or something. Like it's like I'm gonna just watch some skate building videos and go night.
Yeah, literally right before bed.
Hammering away.
Yeah. It's giving the scene in Toy Story when he's like fixing up Woody.
Exactly. Love it. I see you're a family man.
I am.
Beautiful family.
Yes, you do have a beautiful family.
So I've got 5 boys, from 3 to 22. So 3 are in college, and then 1 in first grade and 1 in diapers, right?
Aww.
But they're all good boys. Like the oldest is going to the nursing program. The second oldest is going to start going to dental school. Third one's playing football at the local college. And then we're doing it all over again. So we'll see like where we go with it. But I'm sure one of the boys at some point will probably like take to some of the boot making and want to carry it on. Hopefully.
Do they skate too?
They skate a little bit. I made everybody roller skates a couple Christmases ago. The 6-year-old, he turned 7 yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, and one boy turned 20 today, right?
Goodness.
This is my family month. Sunday, 23rd wedding anniversary.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
St. Patty's Day is another one's birthday, so it's crazy. Don't ask me for anything in March, right?
You can't in March. Can I ramp skate and some Harlicks?
Yeah.
Is that a sin?
I had some skaters here yesterday, and they're like, you don't need to make a Harlick park boot because they're already built so well that like you don't have to worry about it, right? And so that was kind of her feedback to me. And you can do certain things like to maybe make it stiffer or whatever each skater's requirements are. We can do that to make it work. But park skating is just fine in our boots. Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow.
Sure,
Trying to justify buying a pair. This is just me trying to justify me buying Harlicks.
and
That's
for example,
awesome.
on a little bit lower hill for a park boot because that's what you're accustomed to, we can do something like that. You know, we can do whatever you want. If you want it to be cut down, if you're used to a slightly lower cut boot for park, we can do that. Whatever you want, right?
So you haven't done like a specific build for a park skater?
Yeah,
Like, specific for park.
yeah. This one, hers is for ramps and for park skating, and so, yeah. But no,
Done.
no,
Get
like
it.
park model or anything like that. Everything's custom. Right?
Gotcha. Okay.
You haven't really changed anything about building skates since you started the company, but how has roller skating changed since Harlick started building boots?
Yeah. I mean, to go back a little bit, we've changed some things or done some things to be innovative with lightweight or changed out some of the paddings or, you know, we've done some innovative things in some aspects of boot building. But roller skating, you know, gosh, has it changed a lot either? Like, not really, right? It's just like more people are doing it. It's fun. Social media has allowed us to see each other skating and see each other's different styles of skating in terms of like what region they're in and get a better feel for that. Like if you were like in the scene early on and like you knew about the skate parties and all that, like you kind of were part of it. You were in the mix, right? But I think with social media and all of that, it has allowed people to see the different styles more than before, right? And then emulate some, and some people want to learn that specific style, even if they're not from that region or, you know, stuff like that. Skating, but the biggest change is just that it's coming back. That's awesome, right? So I think it's super rad.
Yeah. So you've seen an influx of skates, like demand, like a spike in skate demand?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was maybe 10% before, and now it's at least 50% of our orders. So it's amazing, right? And I think there's been a slight seasonal contraction and also people getting back to normal and things like that, and just kind of not having time or, yeah, you know, all that stuff. So, but you know, that's kind of the feedback I got from some of the shops. They feel it more immediately, and I think they also do like higher volumes, and so they'll see it more. Where for me, I don't even notice it because if I have a little downturn, I'm kind of relieved because that gives me an opportunity to just focus on making boots, right? And so I'm almost like, phew, you know, only one appointment for today. I was like, that's fine with me, honestly. When the back order is like over 6 months long, it's crazy, right? And so I can only make them so fast, and I don't think downturns will last like for a long time or anything like that. It's just we usually kind of see this seasonally, anyways. So spring comes back, start buying boots again.
Gotcha. I more so meant like, what is it? I guess when the pandemic, have you noticed a different, like when the pandemic started as well? Like, is that when you would say like you've noticed a spike in skates?
Yeah.
Oh, roller skates. I'm sorry, because ice skates
Yeah.
are also skates.
Well, it was awesome because all the ice rinks started to shut down, and so
Yeah.
roller skating not emerged the way that it did, it would have probably really affected us a lot more because ice skating shut down so hard, right? So it was the perfect like yin to the yang or whatever, right? It was just perfect, and I started to see it before pandemic hit. Like there's a lot of skaters that have been doing this, like laying the groundwork and the foundation for over, you know, some people never left since the 70s and 80s. There's some of the OGs out there, right? And then there's some of the skaters that did artistic and, you know, as a kid growing up and kind of kept coaching and stayed in the game, right? Or they got into some of the, in Southern California, some of the like commercials and acting and gigs and things like that had to do with roller skating, and it was limited, right? But then I think, yeah, that pandemic hit and people just jumped on, right? And it was perfect timing with social media. I have a lot of the skaters on Instagram that I started jumping on there to just entertain or just like do something during pandemic, I knew people were at home, and I was like, well, I'm lucky enough to come to work. Like maybe just go on Instagram Live and goof around sort of, and like get conversations going. And it was fun. And it helped kind of like make us more of a prominent figure like in the roller skating community as it was emerging, right? And we weren't just this new brand. We had the older skaters that had that artistic background, had been wearing our boots for 10, 20 years. And they were now the new influential skaters, right? They had their followings blowing up. They had huge like online classes that they would teach during the pandemic, and people would ask them about their skates, and they could see that they were well worn, but they were older, and it was like a testimony to the quality of our boots, how well they've held up over time. When people would order these boots off Amazon or whatever online, and they would get these super cheap boots, right? Like super cheap. And I'm grateful for those brands and for those skaters going that route, because then as they level up or as they become more aware of what their needs are, their desires are, they start to see, oh, there's other options, or they could spend a little more and get this. And then some people just flat out want it, right? And they don't care how new they are. And so I love that. I don't care how new they are either. I treat everybody the same, whether you're Chris Yamaguchi Olympic gold medalist, or, you're just starting like the folks today that came in and got their first pairs, like their first roller skates since they were kids. Right. And so anyways.
Thank you for speaking on that, though, because I think it is really important to understand that not everybody knows if they're going to stick to roller skating. So they do start with the cheaper boots, and we probably wouldn't have all these people joining the community if it wasn't for those cheaper brands. But it's like people like us who now are leaning towards, oh, well, like we're better skaters now. And maybe I'm looking towards a boot that could actually elevate my skating at this point, rather than hold me back.
Yeah.
I find it beautiful what you said as well, when you said you treat, well, for me, like I feel like it's wild to me, the idea of like you could have someone like an Olympian come in and just a regular Joe Schmo like come in and you treat them the same. It's the same service, the same quality. You're not being like, well, you're just a regular person off the street, like it's just, that's wonderful, So.
Yeah, I never really thought about that, because I guess because I do just see everybody the same, right? And the skaters that I work with, a lot of like the big wigs or whatever, they're very down to earth, in my opinion, a lot of them, and humble and relatable. And when you take someone off of a pedestal maybe, and you just like are vibing, and I'm tracing their feet, I mean, it's just it's something where you can't be too like, oh, well, I want it like this. I don't know. Like, honestly, you get people like that, but it's 99% of the clientele are just awesome people. It's such a slice of life, right? Like some people, they don't even care. They just throw the credit card at it and they get it. Other people really have been saving their pennies, and going through it. Or I see the mom and her, in her modest, mid-sized sedan, getting out and coming straight from work to pay for her kids' skates, or and they're doing everything they can to help facilitate this kid's dream. Or I see it all, right? And across the board. And that's the other thing that I love about the roller skating is it was kind of like my silent prayer, as like I began to kind of take the reins more, as I want to be more of the people and part of the people, and a more diverse spectrum of not just this like elite boot brand that only certain people can get access to, but like the roller skating offers such a neat like community to work within, right? And so I'm so grateful for that, and I think it's fun, and it sort of fits my personality a little more, right? So I love it.
I guess that kind of goes hand in hand with what I wanted to ask next, was how does Harlick as a company give back to the community outside of making such beautiful custom boots?
That's a great question. So and this is not something that like we brag about or anything like that. Like, I don't know if I've ever said anything publicly about it, but like to give back to the community. So when we moved locations, we had a large inventory of boots that were maybe unclaimed or things like that, that maybe they're a little big, they were sent back. Like, we just had this, like, hundreds of boots, and we were able to, my mom, I didn't even know she did it. She did it without asking, but or telling anybody. But it was like she gave boots to figure skating in Harlem and figure skating in Detroit.
Wow.
And these like ice skating teams basically for young Black women basically, right? And other minority girls, right? And so it's, to me, I think that's awesome. That's like what I stand for in a huge way, because I realize that I've seen from my own firsthand, like personal experience with my wife, who is, her family's Jamaican and her mom's she's a first generation American. And so, my mother from Jamaica, and it wasn't easy, right? I get it. She was a single mom raising 4 kids. There's certain things, and not to say that every Black family has it, or every individual that's coming from, Black, Indigenous, people of color background, like everybody's, even white people have struggles, I get it. But seeing the firsthand experience, I know that we can help grow skating within these communities, right? And we can help specific people, right? And make it more accessible. Or it's more than just hooking them up with some free boots, but it's having an awareness and the sport. And I'm kind of speaking almost like more towards ice skating, but because it is like this exclusive sport in a way, right? It's so expensive with coaching, ice time, competitions, dresses, all of these different things. Where roller skating can, and ice skating can be fun and just go skate too, but roller skating seems to be more recreational. But even the artistic skating does have, it's expensive to roller skate as well if you're going to get into that. So what do we do to get back? I try to help people out when I can. And, I don't want to say too much like, oh, I do all these different things, but I always do what I can in certain situations, or, honestly, like if there's special needs folks out there that are doing Special Olympics, stuff like that, we've always done like half price or free boots or just stuff like that. Like you have to have a good heart to know that we've been blessed in so many ways, and there's always going to be somebody out there that's less fortunate. And so I don't have like this set agenda or platform, but if you're doing things the right way, and if you see something and you can help, then you do it, right? So that's what I do to give back, I think.
You're just going to act. You're going to act. If you see something, like you said, like if you see a place that you can fill and help and support that's what you're going to do. And it's not to be like, look at me, like, look at me doing a good deed.
Yeah.
It's like,
that's like what it's not supposed to be. Right. It's not supposed to be on Instagram, like showing you give money to people and their reaction. Like, don't do that. Like just word of advice. Everybody out there, do it without videoing it and expecting anything in return. Like really. And I was just answering it like not in any way to look for acclimates or anything like that, but just to say like, do the right thing, and you'll see it. And what's funny is there's other things out there that maybe we can't always see or know, but there's going to be ways to facilitate others' needs if you're willing to. Right? Like other things kind of line up in a way that you wouldn't expect if you just do it, right? If you just go out of your way to do it.
I love that. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
So what is next for Harlick as a company? What's happening right now?
Yeah,
that's a great question. We just had the Olympics, and we did have one skater there, and he was skating for Japan on their dance team. And so he's been a longtime customer, but I want to have like more people in the Olympics next time, kind of like what we've had in the past. And I'm going to make a bit of a conscious effort to go after a few. And I've got some in the ranks that are up and coming young skaters that are in our boots, and just kind of make sure that I holding on to some of that, because that's fun, right? That's notoriety. That's something that's going to say our boots at the highest level. And one of the things that I'll do to hopefully make that happen is come out with more of I'd call it a hyper boot, or like a super boot that's super lightweight, custom fit, full carbon soles and heels, like just maybe even some wearable sensor electronics that are going to talk to your phone or your iPad or something like that. Injury prevention. So if they're getting into like a fatigue zone so they don't overtrain, like there's things that I think I could do.
Pressure sensitivity. No.
Yeah.
Bionic foot. Yeah.
So stuff like that. And then in the roller skating stuff, just to continue to like keep working with these amazing clients that we've got and come up with, it's amazing. Like you just think like, oh, I've done it all out, or, like what's next? Like what you just think like, what could top this? And it's like, man, everybody's so unique and you almost never have doubles, right? The like repeats, like copycats or repeats, just even by coincidence. It's just, there's so many unique variables that go into it that everybody seems to kind of pick one thing a little different, or so that's the cool thing about custom is you can make it yours.
They are one of a kind.
We can't confuse our skates with each other's skates. There's no way, not when they're Harlicks.
Mine have the lavender metallic backstays.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like, have you seen any of your boots in the wild? Like out and about?
Yeah, like Candace, I see her in the airport ads, like big old poster ad things. And she's holding her boots with her Bose earbuds or something.
I love Candace. Big fan.
Like when I go to the rinks or if I go out skating, that's what I'm doing. I'm kind of watching everybody's boots and who's going by, and I'll see people wearing my boots and they're older, and I'm like, I don't think I know this person, and it's a great conversation starter, right? And but yeah, I love seeing them in the wild. That's my favorite.
And you can tell, what's a sure way to tell if it's a Harlick?
Our backstays are generally narrower. Our toe seams have a top stitch on the toes on each side of the center seam. We've got a stitch that goes on each side. Ours are just like more shapely and like sexier, right? Like they've got that look to them. They're not like loose or floppy fitting, or like they don't look like super thin. Like you can just tell from the back, you can just see it. Like the heel has a little more shape to it. Just everything about it, right?
So you know a Harlick when you see it.
Yeah, especially these days, it becomes it just becomes more apparent. I think a long time ago, everybody's boots kind of looked similar, right? And then everybody starts cutting corners or just going to overseas manufacturing, right? And they have them make it their way with machinery, and it just takes on a different look, right, compared to a handmade boot. So.
Yeah, I mean, we just want to thank you for like sponsoring our show and like hooking us up with Harlicks. Like, thank you so much. You really didn't have to do that. And the fact that you would even just do that, without us asking is like incredible, No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Thank you again for your time. And we really appreciate you meeting with us today.
Yes. Awesome. It was great to get to know you guys better a little bit too. So.
Well, we'll let you go back to making boots.
Hard at work. Yep.
Hey, that's me. Okay. Well, great. Yeah. Keep me posted. If you guys have any other questions, let me know. Okay.
Yep. And if people want to find out more information about Harlick, where can they go and where can they find you?
Yeah. Go to harlick.com. That's going to give you like pricing information. It's going to show pictures and detailed descriptions of all of our options. Because we have quite the selection as far as options go. And so you can kind of educate yourself with all of that and get a feel for it. But then if you have questions, you can email us, you can call us. Our information is there on the website, or go to the Instagram, right? Harlick Skating Boots. And you can send me a DM on there. In some ways, that's the easiest way to direct contact me through. And like and comment all of our stuff. Follow us.
Do all the things. Yes, that's right.
But really, just reach out to us in any of those traditional methods, or follow us. And I'm pretty easy to like. I'm pretty good at calling or commenting back to people. So I'm just a humble bootmaker, right?
I am just but a bootmaker. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. And So what discount we getting though? What are we talking here? Talk to me. Go on.
We can talk. We can talk. I don't know. We can
God.
talk virtual date and
Bet. Okay. We'll talk.
bring the credit.
No, we gotta have a visit out there.
Yeah, that's what
it
we
is.
need to do. We need to come visit.
Not virtual. I gotta go visit out there.
We got to do it right.
And you gotta take your family to Florida so that they can come play in Disney and then, and then.
I think there's a big roller skating thing in Orlando coming up this summer.
All right.
So,
like an industry convention.
Oh, stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
What just happened? Did we just learn? Are we getting?
We were just at the factory.
Are we getting Harlicks now?
Jason, are we getting Harlicks now?
Jason, are we getting Harlicks now, Jason? Now I want Harlicks.
I know. Now I really want
Harlicks.
them. I didn't understand how much goes into building them, how customized they are to your foot.
Yeah,
I have cute feet, but they're flat.
I'm gonna
they're
be honest.
wide.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like I didn't like. I see the online. They have the foot mold thing, but I thought it was literally like just how everyone else makes a boot. And then what's different about them is like their foot mold. Like
I thought that was it too.
I thought that was it. I didn't realize there was all of these steps. Like, yeah, decorating it on the outside. I get that.
Right. It was really interesting to have him kind of like step by step go through what it was. And I love how caring and hands-on he is about it, and how his business is based around that. And it's based around how they began making boots. You know, that's a skill that not many companies are holding.
I just don't hear a lot of
how many shoemakers do you know? How many like
tailors? How many people go to the tailor?
He said it's almost gonna end up being like an heirloom in your family if it's something that's going to last a lifetime and likely be passed down to someone, you know.
Yeah.
And I like the sustainability of. I never even considered that part of how these won't end up in a landfill.
Yeah, no, seriously. Like all of the things that we use, even our laces that we like rip through, that's all landfill. Like they're plastic basically. A lot of these little, like, I don't know, there's a lot of these little knickknacks in skating too that you know add to that garbage island. Island. So
we're just gonna be one big garbage island soon, guys.
One big garbage island.
That's the name of the new
garbage
podcast.
Island. Oh my god!
I'm just
yes.
kidding.
Oh my god! Hey, I don't hate it though. I don't hate it.
Other Patreon.
Our Patreon. I'm glad we got to learn more about the company and the process of skate making, boot making. Excuse me, boot making in general. You know, so.
And it feels like an honor to be welcomed into that world of Harlick. I mean, it's a very prestigious skate company. If I was going to think of the most, like, you know, that would definitely be top 3.
Yeah. He was name dropping Christian Gucci. I was like, don't you name drop Christian Gucci up in Shorty's home. Don't do
Not
that.
in my home.
Not in my house. On my podcast.
The Christian Gucci.
You can find me at Rolling with Rozy.
And you can find me at Hey Shorty with 3 Y's and 2 underscores.
And you can find us at Skate Sundae. Bye for now.
Bye.